In the dazzling splendor of ancient Rome, behind the impenetrable walls of marble colonnades and the gilded luxury of its palaces, a dark truth was hidden, carefully guarded from prying eyes. You admire Rome's military triumphs, its breathtaking architectural masterpieces, its revolutionary legal institutions. But how often do you think of those who paid an exorbitant price to maintain this ostentatious grandeur, of the young lives ruthlessly sacrificed to the whims of the rich and all-powerful? They are not merely servants, not faceless shadows flitting through the house, carrying out others' commands. They are broken souls, trapped in a cage of a system designed to cynically exploit their youth, their beauty, their vulnerability, to satisfy the lust of the Roman elite. Their stories are like bleeding wounds on the body of the Roman Empire, forever shattering your idealized image of this ancient civilization, exposing the monstrous reality of lawlessness in a world where brute force was the only law. The Roman Empire's ideas about intimate relationships were alien to modern concepts, where you are used to drawing a clear line between consent and coercion. The Romans lived in a world of complex hierarchy, where everything was determined by power. And at the very bottom of this pyramid of suffering were the young men, captured in endless wars or born into slavery. They found themselves in a role they never chose. These boys, some of them barely 13 years old, were given no voice. They were selected not for their sharp minds or useful skills, but for their attractiveness, for the promise of carnal pleasure for their masters. You live in constant fear, never knowing when you will be summoned, what will be demanded of you, how your refusal or obedience will affect your future. The selection process itself was filled with humiliation. Wealthy Romans would visit the slave markets as you might a stockyard, unceremoniously inspecting a potential purchase, assessing every curve, every muscle, searching for any sign of defect. Youths from Greece were especially prized for their refined manners and education, while those from Germanic tribes were attractive for their fair skin and strong build. In the buyer's eyes, there was no trace of sympathy for the terror you felt, standing naked and defenseless, while strangers appraised you like a piece of meat. You have been bought. Now you are a thing. You enter a house where every breath is not your own, where your time is someone else's time, where every desire must be read in your master's eyes, guessed before it becomes a word. Smile, always smile. Be grateful. Always be grateful, even when they touch you as if you are filth. When your dignity is trampled and your independence is just an empty sound. You are a shadow. Your life depends on a whim, on the mood of the person who owns you, luxury, silk, and education, perhaps, but you will pay for it all, with every breath, every glance, every second, or poverty, rags, a forgotten corner with no peace, no privacy, where you are just a tool for pleasure, a toy taken from a box when needed, then tossed back into the dust. You are nothing. The law, protection, forget them. You are in a grey area, a thing without rights. Your well-being means nothing. Only the master's whim matters. Do not ask for help. Do not hope for sympathy. Do not dare to complain. Otherwise, pain. Your body is not yours. Your feelings are not yours. Your life is a lie. They play with you. They break you. They turn you into a puppet. Kindness, privileges, lies, a temporary mercy, followed by cruel punishment. The loss of everything you hold dear, fear, constant clinging fear, confusion. You never know what awaits you around the next corner. mercy or wrath, a caress or a blow. You are broken. You are a slave. Forever. You are alone. Always alone. Every day is a wall, high, smooth, without a single handhold. You look at it, and it looks back. Emptiness. The sound of footsteps outside the door is an omen. Your heart is a drum beating in your chest. The footsteps fade. Are you safe for now? No. The creak of the hinges cuts through the air. Him. His gaze is tangible, sticky. Like a spider's web, it envelops you. You are a butterfly pinned to a board. The voices of others are a distant whisper. They are shadows gliding along the walls. You cannot speak to them. You cannot look them in the eye. Otherwise, rivalry is a knot of snakes in your stomach. Every gesture, every word is poison. You smile, but inside there is fear. Fear of losing. Fear of being left alone. Though you are already alone, your education is a cage of words. They teach you to speak beautifully, to think correctly, but your thoughts are your prison. You recite poetry, but your mind is filled with fragments of memories of home, of the smell of bread, of your mother's laughter. Forget. Your body is a canvas. They paint it anew each day. Exercises, diets, touches that make you want to scream. You are a puppet. Dance. Pain is the cold sweat on your back. A needle pierces your skin. A scream gets stuck in your throat. You must be beautiful. Silk glides over your skin. Gold glitters at your neck. You are an ornament, a living doll. In the mirror is a stranger's face. Beautiful, but empty. Where are you? What is your name? Silence. Only the beating of your heart. Thump, 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 thump. You are no one. Travel. It seemed like a privilege, but for you, it is just another cage draped in silk. Another city, another villa, other faces looking at you like a thing. Like an object to be brought along. You are portable property. You must adapt. Smile. Be ready. Always. It doesn't matter how far they have taken you from home. It doesn't matter how deeply your flesh longs for the familiar coolness of your native stream. In these houses, you are nobody. You live in luxury, eat from silver, but you have no status. The other slaves look on with contempt. To them, you are a disgrace. The freeborn, with indifferent curiosity, you are a fleeting amusement, a toy deserving neither respect nor attention. Your family, you see their faces in your dreams. Your mother stroking your hair, your father teaching you to shoot a bow, your younger brother laughing at your clumsy attempts to catch a fish. They don't know where you are, if you are even alive. Every day they wonder, praying to their gods, and you are here, in a golden cage with no way out. Debt bondage. The term is like a spit in the face. Your family faced a choice, starvation for all, or you, the sacrifice that saved the others. You remember their tear-streaked faces as they took you away. You remember the warmth of their embrace. You feel the guilt. Always. Escape. The thought is a spark in the darkness. You are willing to risk everything for the slightest chance to breathe the air of freedom. You have seen those who tried, their bodies mutilated by whips, put on public display, humiliation, pain, fear, clinging and suffocating. But even that does not kill hope. It smolders inside you, quietly, biding its time. You lie there, bound by powerlessness. Even death, the final refuge, is denied to you. They paid for you, a significant sum. You are their property. Every breath you take, every move you make, is watched. Eyes are everywhere. They have taken everything you could use to end this life. The Roman gods, do they even know you exist? Their temples rise high, full of promises of protection and justice. But here, in this cage, their light does not penetrate. Perhaps other gods, foreign, forbidden ones, in a whisper, furtively, you try to call out to them. But even a prayer is an act of defiance, and it will be punished. You are merchandise, a piece of meat at the market. They haggle over you, appraising your beauty, your talent. Gold, that is what you are worth. The jingle of coins replaces the beat of your heart. In every glance, there is only calculation. The training school, you remember it. The smell of sweat and fear, pain. They broke you, day after day, destroying everything human, turning you into an obedient doll. Your will, your thoughts, seared away with a hot iron. Only a shell remains, attractive, obliging. You were, what, 10, 12? Your life was over almost before it began. You will never know freedom, or love, or what it means to be human. Only emptiness, cold, and a clinging, suffocating fear. Always. You stand at a crossroads of cultures, like everyone else. Here, in this empire where roads and customs converge, you are just a shadow cast by another's will. Do not harbor illusions of mercy. There is none here. Differences in treatment? Yes, they exist. A little less pain here, a little more there. But the essence is the same. You are a thing. Time. It relentlessly steals your youth, your attractiveness. And then the day comes when you are no longer needed. What awaits you then? Oblivion, destitution, or, if you are lucky, a humiliating resale. You are a spent resource, thrown overboard from life. The stench of a cheap tavern, hunger, cold. This is your retirement. Sometimes, a miracle happens. Someone breaks free. But at what cost? The scars of the past still bleed, and memories suffocate you. You must forget who you were to become someone else. Hide your history, like a terrible secret. But even then, even in success, you will remember. You will remember the price of freedom. Medical care? Don't be fooled. It is not concern for you, but for their investment. You must be healthy to serve, to please the eye. Your body is their property. Your pain, your suffering. No one cares. Only your appearance, your functionality matters. Rome. They pride themselves on their honor, their duty, their virtue. But all of that is only for the chosen, for the free citizens. You are outside their world. Your suffering is nothing. You are not a person. You are merely an instrument for their pleasure. And that is their morality. You feel its sticky touch on your skin, the heat of humiliation seeping into your bones. You are nothing, and you must always remember it. You learn to read his mood like a weather map. A faint cloud of anger on his brow. Expect a storm. A shadow of disappointment in his eyes. Prepared to be twice as pleasing. The art of survival, that's what it's called. The art of lying. You are a skilled actor, always smiling, always grateful, always content. But inside, this contented slave is screaming. The great festivals, you are put on display. You are an expensive toy, part of the elaborate entertainment. Dance, sing, smile. And then, when the holidays are over, silence falls. But even in the silence, you cannot relax. You wait. You are always waiting, waiting to be summoned again. Conversation, it is forbidden. But you have learned to speak with your eyes. A light touch of the hand, a warning, a subtle nod, comfort. You are a network woven from silent gestures and stolen glances. This is your secret, your strength, your small, fragile hope in this world of darkness. They see you as things, toys, but you are human. You feel, you remember, and this knowledge, it poisons their world. A world where cruelty is the norm, where oppression is the law. A world built on the bones of those like you. Archaeologists find things, collars, chains, trinkets you once held in your hands. Little pieces of your life, buried under centuries of silence. They search for you in the earth, but you are not in their books. Your voice was silenced, your name forgotten, but you were here. You lived, you fought, and you remember. You read between the lines. Words glide past, never lingering, slipping away like mercury. Euphemisms, acknowledgement without detail, disturbing aspects hidden in shadow. But you see, you feel the powerlessness, the exploitation, sale, from one master to another, a leap into the unknown. The uncertainty cuts like glass, a new home, new rules, different expectations, cruelty or mercy. You don't know, you never know. Survival starts from scratch, again. The psychological armor forged in the previous hell is still on you. It cracks, but it holds. For now, interest, a flash, sparks, and then it fades. Sale, or demotion, to the rank of a common slave. You are a thing, a temporary amusement, or long-term attachment, some stability, some predictability. But it is not safety. It is never safety. You are a toy. Your fate is in another's hands, in another's whim. City, villa, season, the moves, the changing scenery, the changing faces, adaptation, constant, exhausting, psychological flexibility stretched to its limit. Roots? Forget them. Connections? Don't you dare. You are a tumbleweed, dust in the wind, music, poetry, conversation. They teach you beauty. They teach you culture. The irony, cruel, unbearable. You are a vessel, a repository of knowledge, of skills. But you are not a creator. You are an instrument for another's pleasure, not for self-expression. Never. Training, diet, body. Your body is not yours. It is property. It must be kept in shape. For the master, extreme, grueling, no choice. Endure. Exercises, restrictions, modifications. The cost, it doesn't matter. Physical, psychological, it is of no consequence. You must be beautiful. You must be desirable. Otherwise, you stand in the shadows as the festive bells ring, each toll a reminder of your place. All around is laughter, bright fabrics, the aromas of roasted meat and sweet wine. But for you, it is just another performance where you are the puppet. A push from behind forces you to smile, to dance, to entertain. You feel the clammy sweat on your temples and hear your heart pounding. Fear, always fear. Here, in this house, you are a shadow amid the light. Others laugh, joke, make plans. You watch them from a distance, an invisible wall between you. A wall of gold and silk, built on your lack of freedom. You try to catch a glance, to find sincerity, but you see only the reflection of your own despair. A touch, accidental, fleeting, burns like a brand. You pull your hand back, feeling dirty. Close your eyes. Remember the smell of home, the fields, the sun, the faces of your family. Now, the salt wind, the cry of gulls, the hold of a ship, the stench of unwashed bodies. Pain, endless pain. Through your sleep, you hear the voices of merchants, their greedy eyes, their rough hands. You are merchandise, just merchandise. You learn to smile when you want to scream. You learn to be silent when you want to speak. They break you like a wild horse, training you to the bridle and the whip. Every word, every glance is measured, perfected. You are a doll, exquisite, expensive, but just a doll. You feel your will slipping through your fingers like sand. Your tunic is bright, embroidered with gold. The fabric caresses your skin, but you only feel its weight, the weight of another's will, another's desires. The ornaments jingle with every movement, reminding you of your price. You look in the mirror and see a beautiful face, but the eyes are empty. This is not you. This is only a reflection of what they have made you. You feel the touch of cold steel. The razor's blade glides over your skin, shaving the hair away. The pain is sharp but brief. You look at your reflection and see a stranger. Your body is a canvas on which they paint their desires. They change you, remake you, disfigure you, and you remain silent. You no longer belong to yourself. The psychological impact. Growing up, the formative years spent in such circumstances caused lasting damage to every aspect of life. You never had a chance to form normal ideas of consent, of independence, of healthy relationships. Recovery is extremely difficult. Even if freedom comes, social isolation imposed on many concubines, it prevented them from developing social skills, connections needed to survive or escape. The isolation was intentional. Masters prevented their property from forming alliances or finding outside support. Economic calculations determined the fates of concubines. Their monetary value, prices, fluctuated with age, appearance, skills, origin. This commodification made it easier for masters to justify treating them as disposable objects, not as people, with dignity and worth. The normalization of this exploitation, this dehumanization in Roman society, had effects far beyond the immediate victims. A culture that normalizes systematic violence against the vulnerable becomes ready to accept other forms of cruelty, injustice, oppression, a theme throughout Roman history. There are few glimpses of resistance, of rebellion, concubines taking desperate measures to assert their humanity, their dignity. These acts of defiance, often futile, cruelly punished, showed the human spirit could not be completely broken, even in the most oppressive circumstances. The dominant religious and philosophical systems offered little protection or comfort to these victims. The Romans debated ethics and virtue, but saw no contradiction between their lofty ideals and the systematic exploitation of the powerless. The seasons, they dictate a rhythm, the rhythm of your life here in Rome. And this rhythm is like the crack of a whip. The quiet days are a respite before the strike. You know the sun will set, and the shadows will grow longer, and with them the list of duties, longer than your life. The law, there is none for you. You are a thing, a piece of property, a silent shadow gliding along someone else's walls. Your pain is invisible. Your tears are water in the sand. They look through you. They see only what they want to see, and they are allowed everything. Money. That is what rules this world. The trade in human beings. Profit. A cycle of violence that cannot be broken. They capture, they break, they sell, and so it will always be. As long as Rome stands, as long as the blood flows, your body is their canvas, your mind is their clay. They mold you into what they need, obedience, submissive service. But what is left of you? Where are you? Your independence, taken. Your dignity, trampled. Your sense of self, it is gone. Even if you gain your freedom, you can never get yourself back. The forgotten. That is who we are. Shadows of the past. Statistics in books. But behind every number is a life. Hopes like butterflies in a fist. Fears like ice in the heart. Dreams shattered like glass. The concubines of Rome. Not just words. This is us. Our pain. Our resilience. Marble. Gold. Grandeur. But behind this glitter is blood and sweat. The price paid by us. The vulnerable. The defenseless. Remember this: when you look at the triumphal arches, when you hear the jingle of coins, remember us, those who had no choice, those who paid for your luxury. You are the shadow that glides along the walls of Roman villas, the echo of whispers in the slave markets. You are the youth torn from your home, thrown into the jaws of an insatiable empire. How easily, how imperceptibly cruelty weaves itself into the fabric of a society, becoming its habit, its law. Philosophers discourse on virtue, jurists write laws, and you are merchandise, a thing, a tool. Moral judgment is selective when power is involved. You feel it on your skin with every lash of the whip, every lustful glance. But you are not broken, not completely. You find scraps of dignity in stolen moments, in the fleeting smile of another slave, in the defiant glare thrown in an overseer's face. You survive, you breathe, you resist. This is your triumph. Listen, do you recognize this hum, this murmur? It is the echo of the past, reflecting in the present. The dynamics of power, vulnerability, oppression, they are still here. The faces are just different, the masks new, but the essence is the same. A warning. Remember, silence. The heavy, clinging silence that shrouds these stories, our discomfort, our fear of acknowledging the scale of the injustice. But you hear. You bring these voices back from oblivion. You honor their memory. You remember the duty. They lived. They died. In circumstances no human being should have to endure. Not as a salacious detail of history, but as a testament to pain and resilience. You remember their humanity. You vow that this will never happen again. Their legacy is a mirror. What do you see in it? How does your society treat its most vulnerable? What injustices do you choose to ignore? What systematic atrocities are being committed right now, under your nose? Power, consent, dignity, questions that echo across 2 millennia. Relevant, now. You stand, you don't move. The stone beneath your bare feet, a grave-like cold, seeps into your bones. The stench, a heavy, stagnant mix of sweat, urine, cheap wine, and fear. Fear. That is the main scent of this place. It has seeped into the walls, into your skin, into your gut. The stench hits your nostrils, making you shudder. You hear a whisper, quiet, muffled, like rats scratching behind a wall. It is them, the same as you, the doomed, a glint of light on the curved dagger hanging from the overseer's belt. He is watching. His heavy gaze burns right through you. Humiliation. It burns hotter than a whip. You remember your mother, her hands, warm, rough, the smell of bread and milk. How long ago was that? It feels like another life. Fragments of prayers run through your head, incoherent, pathetic. Who to pray to? The gods are deaf here. They watch from Olympus, sipping nectar, and care nothing for the stinking pit where you are left to rot. The whisper again, closer. Someone touches your hand. It's trembling, just like you. You remember his face, young, arrogant, a patrician. He can have anything, and you, nothing. Only obedience, only compliance, only silence. Your heart is a frantic bird in a cage, beating, tearing to get out. It wants freedom. Foolish heart. There is no freedom here. You feel his gaze, clammy, slick, like a snake. Your breath catches. There is a lump in your throat. You close your eyes. You try to remember the sun, warmth, life, but you see only the dagger, the glint, the cold, the end.